Lamar, at what point did you realize you were in trouble? Like you had an alibi, you had people who could attest to where you were. There wasn't even 5 minutes that you had unaccounted for. At what point did you realize they're gonna they're basically going to railroad you?
It probably started when I was told that I had been identified because one, I knew I hadn't done it. And so I was, when I was asked about a lineup, I was wanted to agree to participate in that voluntarily. And as you might know, that I wasn't identified in that lineup. Actually, the eyewitness identified somebody else. And so when I left out of the lineup room, Detective Nickerson was kind of leaning over a table, and I could tell that he was frustrated and that I hadn't been identified. And I remember telling him, "See, I told you I didn't do this." And I remember the way that he looked up at me. He looked up at me like he had hatred in his eyes. That's the only way that I know how to describe it. But I left there knowing that I hadn't been identified. And when they came back later, two other detectives came back in and said, "Well, you've been identified." I knew then that something was going on, that something was wrong. So that was that moment.